know, if you've been here for a while, you know that Manscaped has been a good friend of the show, and I'm happy to let you know they've launched yet another win. You know, your facial hair is key to making a good first impression, and that doesn't just mean your beard and stash. You know, I've been so impressed with the new Weed Whacker 2.0 nose and ear hair trimmer. It's the best way to keep the rest of your face /Phil. And then, what the actual fuck is happening in East Cleveland? And I asked that because yesterday we saw the FBI and local prosecutor do a press conference where they unveiled indictments against 11 current or former East Cleveland police officers, with charges ranging from assault to dereliction of duty to interfering with civil rights, bringing the total number of cops indicted over the last 7 months to 16.
بشكل داخلية في أمريكا أكثر من بقية الدول.
Also, just so you understand the perspective, because you're like, 16 cops, that's not a lot. We're not talking about Los Angeles. We're talking about a city of just 14,000 people. So not only is this a small community, but there's only about 24 active duty cops left after these indictments. Right, which is why you have people saying this isn't a case of like a bad apple or two. This is a bad department. But on to the videos. We first see one where a cop car hits a guy and then the officers get out, they handcuff him on the ground, and then they punch him repeatedly with him suffering a broken pelvis. And as he tries to roll onto his side, they scream at him to stop resisting, then they tase him 3 times while he groans in pain. In other videos, you see cops just beating on people who are either handcuffed, surrendering, or otherwise.
تحس نفسك كأنك في GTA عم تلعب.
Stomped on a man who's just lying on the ground. In another incident, a cop approaches a man who's kneeling down and just kicks him to the ground. With that same officer in another video rushing up to a guy sitting against a wall with his hands up, shoving him to the ground and kicking him in the groin. Next up, you got a video showing a police cruiser chasing a man, and as they near him, you hear, "Get his ass, get his ass, get his ass, boy!" By the time they get out, the person's already laying on the ground, but still 3 officers run up and beat him before throwing him in the back of the cruiser, with one of them then saying several minutes later,
"Nice little ass whooping."
And yet another clip, an officer repeatedly hits a man in the face, and you hear him screaming that he needs medical attention afterward.
"I need to go to the hospital."
No one kicked you.
"I need to go to the hospital. I'm bleeding. My whole hand broken, everything."
Get in the car.
And then finally, there's one where we catch a cop finding someone's phone in the back of the cruiser, then pressing down on it with 2 hands and breaking it. And then, key thing here, afterward, you hear him and another officer agree to cover it up and then laugh about it.
Nothing.
I didn't see anything either.
How's it still turn on? That's impressive. I'm surprised the battery hasn't exploded yet.
And something I want you to keep in mind is that almost everything that you saw happened just in the last year or two, and that is not even all of it. Right? In total, there are 17 victims from these incidents, and a key thing, that's only what was caught by investigators. Right? So now we'll hopefully see these scumbags get convicted, thrown into prison, but no matter what we do, it just seems like this shit just keeps happening over and over and over again. And then, opioids are killing children, with a new study by the journal Pediatrics finding that opioids are the #1 cause of fatal poisoning deaths in children under 5. Right? So researchers looked at 731 poisoning-related deaths that took place from 2005 to 2018 in 40 states and found that nearly half were caused by the drugs. And the proportion of fatal poisonings caused by opiates has gotten significantly worse over time, jumping from 24% of the deaths in 2005 to 52% in 2018. And those figures track with the increase in opiate overdoses among adults for the same time frame. In fact, according to the CDC, opioid overdoses killed around 5 out of every 100,000 Americans in 2005, compared to around 21 out of every 100,000 in 2020. And overall, overdose deaths quintupled since 1999, with opioids accounting for nearly 75% of those fatalities in 2020. So that helps explain why opiates now account for a higher percentage of poisoning deaths in children. But the study's authors also say that the spike can be attributed to a shift in the kinds of opiates people are using. In the early 2000s, more people abused prescription opioids. But as regulators crack down, they turn to alternatives like fentanyl and heroin, which not only are stronger and more deadly, they also don't come with childproof packaging like prescriptions. And then, the number of plastic particles in the world's oceans is now a whopping 171 trillion, with this coming from a new study saying that it's reached unprecedented levels, with the number of plastics back in 2005 totaling just 16 trillion. Right, so we're talking water bottles, food packaging, toothbrushes, toilet seats, laundry baskets, hard hats, pretty much anything you can think of, with lots of it reportedly being mistaken for prey by wildlife like whales, turtles, fish, and seabirds who starve to death as plastic fills their stomach. But also a huge thing, humans unknowingly consume it too, with microplastics now being found all over our body, from the lungs and veins to the placenta in our blood. And in fact, one study estimated that people eat around 1 credit card worth of plastic every week. And where you can find these plastics, it spans the entire globe. They've been found pretty much everywhere, from the summit of Mount Everest to the depths of the Mariana Trench, which is why this latest study's author warns, without urgent policy intervention to limit plastic reduction, the rate at which plastic waste will enter the ocean between now and 2040 will increase by around 2.6 times. And adding that the solution isn't just to clean up and recycle, but to reduce our use of plastic in the first place. And that's where today's show ends. As always, thank you for watching, liking, being subscribed to my daily dives into the news. Heads up, this week we officially finished 11.
Alright, it's time to clear out the pool. I'm diving in right away. I know most of you found me thanks to my acting career. I starred in the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. I wasn't the lead role, but I was the most important role. I was the glue that held the entire franchise together. My character was District 8 hospital helper, a character that is still celebrated and studied extensively in the theatrical arts universities to this day. And this is an old wound, but I'll pour salt in it briefly. I was snubbed for the Oscars that season due to a little behind-the-scenes corruption. I know we can never forget the riots that year due to my absence from the category of Best Actor. District 8 Hospital Helper is still a timeless performance.
اوكي، متأكد انه راح يضحك على وش اسمه تبع فين، في الاوسكارز ولا في الاميز، في المهم واحد من برامج وش اسمه الجوائز تبع الافلام والمسلسلات وكذا، عاملين فقرة للجيمرز ولا الجيمنج بشكل عام. فيا ريت شيء محرز يعني بس على موسيقى الالعاب. ف يعني حمسوا العالم على اساس انه اوكي اعطينا فقرة للجيمرز، بدهم يقلبوا الجيمرز بشكل عام، فعملوا فقرة في الاميز او الاوسكار بخصوص الالعاب على اساس انه الناس تتفرج يجيبوا مشاهدين اكثر. فحسوا بيتكلم على هذا الموضوع.
And I'm getting a bit lost. I don't usually like to bring this up because it feels rather vain and even a little braggadocious to be tooting my own horn and discussing my acting achievements, but the reason I'm mentioning it now is because it's applicable to what I want to talk about today. Hollywood's full of fucking weirdos. Like, straight up, I'm just gonna feed you the vegetables. Hollywood is just fucking evil. There is so much awful shit that goes on in that industry. I don't even know where to begin. Now, this isn't to say that while I was on the set of the Hunger Games for 2 weeks, I noticed terrible things happen.
هوليوود بشكل عام يعني من زمان هوليوود معروفة بهذا الشيء، بس مجرد من الناس صاروا يقظين نفس ما تقولوا بدوا يحطوا العين على الأشياء هذه. ف وخاصة من بعد القصة تبعه وإيش اسمه هذاك أبستين، بدل العالم يركزوا على هذه الأشياء تبع هوليوود واللي يعرفوا المعارف، أصحاب المعارف كيف حتى صار عندهم معارف، كيف حصلوا الدور بهذاك الفيلم. وحتى اليومنا هذا يعني في ناس في مسلسلات يعني شخصيات مش أساسية، مسلسلات وأفلام شخصيات مش أساسية وتحصل لازم ما تقول ظهور أكثر على الشاشة أكثر من الشخصية الأساسية نفسها في المسلسل أو الفيلم. ف اسمه يقولوا معارف كل واحد يشغل المعرفة تبعه عشان انه يحصل، لانه بالاخر الشخص كل ما يظهر اكثر على الشاشة او في المشهد كل ما الناس يعني حفظت شكله وتوقعت يعني انتبهت له اكثر. حتى الاستديوهات الثانية او المخرجين الثانيين راح ينتبهوا للشخص اللي بيظهر اكثر بالشاشة والطبع، مش انه الشخص اللي يدوب يظهر حتى لو كان شخصية اساسية. نشوف شو الموضوع اللي هو بيتكلم عنه بالضبط.
To actors or actresses or anything shady, because I didn't. Everyone I met seemed very normal. Jennifer Lawrence asked for my autograph. I kindly obliged. Nothing really gave me the heebie-jeebies about the experience, but there was one thing that I always found a little fucked up. One of the scenes I was in took place outside at night, and it was very cold that evening. It was like 40 degrees out, and this scene called for rain. So to simulate rain, they had this piping overhead with holes in it that they pumped hose water in and just had rain pouring on us. And that shit was like ice. It was fucking brutal. And a couple of the older actors that were on set for that scene had to be rushed inside to the tents for emergency warmth due to a hypothermia risk. I've mentioned
اوكي، من ناحية الأمطار الاصطناعية في الأفلام هي مش عارف إذا يركبوا لها نظام تدفئة نفس اللي في أحواض السباحة أو إنه على طول من الحنفية تبع الماي يرشوها عليهم. لكن في فيلم قديم يعني صوروه في البحر والناس ماتت عن جد وهم بيصوروا هذاك المشهد. المخرج رفض إنه يوقف التصوير على أساس إنه يكون المشهد أكثر واقعية، وصار أكثر واقعية لأنه عن جد ناس ماتت في تصوير هذاك المشهد. فيلم قديم أبيض وأسود كان، سمعت عنه في اليوتيوب برضو نفس الشيء. فهو بيحكي عن تجربته كإكسترا كشخص إضافي في الفيلم هانجر جيمز. فمش عارف شو اللي جاب القصة إله ولا رجعها مرة ثانية.
mentioned that on stream before, but it's always just struck me as like a weird thing that could have been handled a little better. It just seemed a little irresponsible. But other than that, I didn't have any like noteworthy bad experience with the whole situation, even though it was a huge Hollywood production. I didn't have fucking Harvey Weinstein in a trench coat come up to me behind one of the tents or anything. Like, it was just a really normal and fun experience. But I'm not stupid enough to think that my one experience in Hollywood is indicative of the industry as a whole. There is an unholy mountain of evidence about the terrible shit that goes on behind the scenes in Hollywood, especially when it comes to like child actors and shit like that. Like, there is so much deplorable garbage that goes on in Hollywood, it makes your head spin. Almost everything you ever read about like the behind the scenes of Hollywood is so fucked up. You have very well respected industry veterans coming forward to highlight some awful shit that's gone on over the years, and that brings us to the clip I'd like to show you today that is the catalyst for me wanting to even talk about the whole subject. This comes from an actress whom you might recognize from her biggest recent role in Stranger Things Season 4, where she played Chrissy. Her real name is Grace Van Dien, and she streams pretty regularly on Twitch under the name Blue.
مش ذاكر عليها في مسلسل Stranger Things.
Before starting her Valorant stream, she was just talking to chat and mentioned that she's recently turned down 4 acting projects due to a horrible experience or experiences she has had in the industry with her bosses. So I'll go ahead and play you the clip right now. Well, there's a clip that's going viral, but I want to play you the entirety of that section so you get the full context instead of just the 60 seconds.
In the last 2.5 weeks, I've turned down 4 movies. Because here's the thing. I've seen that some people are upset with me for turning down acting projects.
لحظة، أي واحدة هذه من Stranger Things؟ تقريبا من الجزء الأخير اللي كانت في اللي ماتت في وش اسمه سبويلرز، اللي ماتت في وش اسمه اللي كانت تشتري مخدرات أو شيء هيك، اللي فتحت السقف داخل المقطورة هذيك، تقريبا هي صح؟ إيه نفس الشيء، نفس اللي كنت عم نتكلم عنه، إنه ما ظهرت لا بأس كمية محدودة، لكن برضو إنه لدرجة إنه مش ذاكر عليها غير الشخصيات اللي ظهرت أكثر في الشاشة. أيوة، خلينا نشوف شو عم تقول، ليش رفضت الأدوار.
Projects I've worked on, I didn't have the best experiences with some of the people I had to work for, and with streaming I get to choose who I hang out with, who I talk to, etc., etc. Yeah, one of the last movies I did, one of the producers asked me to, like, he hired a girl that he was sleeping with, and then he had her ask me to have a threesome with them. Like, that's my boss. And then I didn't, and I cried, and I was so upset. But it's like, when people are like, how is streaming better for your mental health? That's how. I get to stay inside my home and play video games, and I don't have my boss asking me to have sex with them. So that's how this is better for my mental health.
That's absolutely horrible to hear.
أي درجة وصل التمثيل؟ عارفين يعني الناس بتعمل، معظم الناس يعني مش الكل أكيد، لأي درجة وصلوا إنه بيحكوا إنه الشخص يعمل هذا الشيء عشان بس إنه يكمل دور ولا يوافقوا على الدور تبعه. يعني للأسف الناس تستغل بعض هذه المواقف، إنه خاصة إذا الشخص محتاج، يعني متوقع منه يقبل بأي شيء، المهم إنه يكمل المشوار، أو إنه ما يطلعوا من الفيلم أو المسلسل. فنفس ما قلت، البث هو حلو. أنا أول مرة هذا بث يعني على التويتش، لأنه شو أقول لكم إنه أوكي تويتش من ناحية يعني الواحد ياخذ راحته من ناحية البث، يبث أي شيء ومش أي شيء أكيد، لكن إنه أريح من اليوتيوب لأنه تاخذ راحتك أكثر من ناحية البث، إنه مش متشددين نفس اليوتيوب. لكن إذا أحد جديد ما يقدر يبث أكثر. حاليا أنا عامله 720 الجودة، ما أقدر أرفعها أكثر من كذا لأنه ما أعرف لأني مش تويتش شريك بالتويتش أو شيء كذا. لكن اليوتيوب سامح لي حتى فل HD يعني أعمل بث، ولا إذا أقدر أعمل 4K بعد مش مشكلة. لكن برضو تويتش المشكلة إذا أحد جديد ولا مش موثق في التويتش ما يقدر يعمل بث أكثر من كذا. لكن برضو أنه مجرد تسلية، أنا مش أنه يعني معتمد عليه في أي شيء. فأريح من ناحية أنه المواضيع اللي تريد تتكلم عنها أو الأشياء اللي تريد تعملها في البث، مش متشددين نفس اليوتيوب. لكن في يعني أشياء هم متشددين فيها على حسب الشخص برضو. المعارف برضو تدخل في الموضوع. لكن برضو اللي هي مرت فيه يعني مش أول مرة ولا آخر مرة يعني راح أسمع فيها أنه صار هذا الشيء مع ممثل أو شخص بده يلعب دور ولا يمثل شخصية، وخاصة في الوقتنا هذا أنه تعرفوا الميول الجنسي وهذه الأشياء. فهوليوود انتبهت على هذه الأشياء مؤخرا، فبدت تفرضها بشكل غير طبيعي في الأفلام والمسلسلات وبشكل غير طبيعي. أوكي حتى في مسلسلات قديمة يعني كانت بدون هذه الأشياء واستمرت أوكي بشكل حلو. فجأة بدوا يعني يدخلوا هذه الأشياء بأي طريقة، المهم إنه تكون موجودة على أساس إنه يكونوا مواكبين مع العصر تبع هذه الأشياء. فما حبيت تغير مسلسل يعني ناجح على أساس إنه بس تحط الفكر تبعك ولا الفكر اللي شايف العالم كله يعني مركزة عليه، أو المشاكل اللي العالم كله مركزة عليه. مش عارف شو يعني بالآخر. يا أما بتوقف المسلسل أو بتستمر تتابع وتتجاهل اللي عم يصير. فاللي مرت فيه أكيد يعني مش أول مرة ولا آخر مرة سمعت فيه.
And it also really fucking sucks that I'm not even surprised to hear it. With all of the information that surfaced about the behind the scenes with these Hollywood elites, the amount of exploitation, especially sexual exploitation in the industry, is just completely unforgivable. And just judging from her story, it feels like this wasn't the producer's first rodeo doing this, of trying to solicit sex out of his employees, or try and coerce employees into sexual encounters. It seems like by having the girl that he hired to fuck be the one to ask her, it was supposed to be like this layer of like plausible deniability. So if Grace did speak out, he'd be like, oh, whoa, no, I would never do that. That was that girl. She's a real loose cannon. That wasn't me. Absolutely not. And now you're blacklisted in Hollywood for even saying that. Now, of course, I don't know who this producer is, so I'm not able to pull up like the scouting report or resume, but I would wager a guess that they've probably done this before on up-and-coming talent to try and give them like this push to do it, because the perception is, this is my boss. If I say no, I might get let go of the project. This could have wide-reaching ramifications for my career going forward. Like, this could cause me problems in the future, so I guess I'll just go along with this sexual advance from this guy. Clearly awful, evil shit. I think it's no surprise that Grace would choose to focus on something like streaming, where she has all the power, as opposed to a slimy, fucking pathetic subhuman worm like this producer that she's mentioning here. And this is just the publicly available information. I can't even imagine, I can't even fucking fathom with my tiny little smooth reptile brain the number of actors and actresses over the years that have most likely quietly suffered behind the scenes. Very similar to what Grace Van Dien's gone through, but they haven't had a voice to talk about it. It's an awful thing. And I would like to make it clear, because I do see people bring this up, this isn't something that's exclusive to just women in Hollywood. This happens to men too. Quick examples right off the top of my head: Terry Crews, Brendan Fraser. Like, it is something that is just a widespread problem in
ايه لكن اوكي هذه الاشياء تصير يعني كثير بالنسبة للرجال والنساء، اكثر شيء النساء بالطبع. لكن غريب بالموضوع انه لما تصير الرجل ما حد يذكر الموضوع، لكن لما تصير البنت او انثى بشكل عام انه الدنيا كلها تقلب يعني، والخبر ينتشر مثل النار. لكن لما تصير الرجل عادي يعني، شو يعني يحمد ربه انه صار معه هيك يعني. هذا التفكير انه بالاخر رجل، لكن اوكي يعني بالاخر انسان مش رجل. فاذا شيء ياثر على اي احد بشكل عام، ليش ما ياثر عليه على اساس انه رجل بعد؟
Hollywood itself. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure women are the main victims to these evil Hollywood elite fiends, but it's not exclusive to just women. Men, as well as children, too, are very real victims that are being preyed upon by these monsters that are abusing their power and taking advantage of everyone they can. It's sickening. It really is. Like, it's a horrible situation, and it totally makes sense why Grace would focus more on something like streaming when she's had these experiences in that industry. Like she mentions, in streaming, you are your own boss. You choose your hours, you choose who you play with, who you talk to, what you're playing. You respond to the chat messages you want to. You're not obligated to. Like, it is totally in your control, whereas in acting in Hollywood, you don't choose your coworkers, you don't choose anything about what you're doing, and you have to play along. And especially in Hollywood, where if you don't play along, this fucking ring of evil vampires is connected so tightly that if you are someone that rocks the boat, you get blacklisted and you won't land future roles. That has been well documented as well, that there is like an actual Hollywood blacklist for people that are maybe a little too forthcoming with what's happening behind the scenes. Like, it's a scary spot full of scary, powerful people. Grace Van Dien doesn't mention this producer's name, and I think that's a very important thing to notice. And it's not like she did anything wrong by keeping his name a secret, but I feel like the reason she wouldn't name and shame this person, and she would have every right to, is because the person has so much power in the industry. Whether that's lawyers or general industry pull, where if she did out them publicly, he would pull strings to ensure she never works a day in her life again in that field.
إيه، هذه هي المعارف. يا اما يكون عنده معارف لدرجة انها خافت ما تقول اسمه، او انه خافت ما يعني ينهي مسيرتها المهنية في هوليوود بشكل عام. فمعظم الممثلين اللي اختفوا فجأة هذول هم اللي يعني حاولوا يعملوا شيء، والشخص اللي حاولوا انه يفضحوه او يتكلموا عنه كان عنده معارف، فصاروا يعني ما يحصلوا ادوار، وصاروا في الافلام اللي وش اسمه اللي ما لها طعم، يعني اللي ما لها انتاج نفس ما تقول، جودتها مش حلوة مثل الافلام يعني الاستديوهات الكبيرة مثل يونيفرس ومارفل وفوكس وهذولا. فاكيد الواحد راح يخاف، خاصة اذا هذا يعني شغله هو هذاك. فعشان كذا ما ذكرت اسمه، إلا يمكن بتشوف من جهة قانونية على أساس إنه، عشان كذا ما بتكلم على الموضوع يعني بالتفاصيل.
There is such a huge risk to her should she speak out against these people. I imagine this is the primary reason why a lot of these people are still in those positions of power, because their victims feel like they can't speak out, or else it's a huge risk to their own safety, their own financial well-being, their career. Like, there's just a lot of potential problems that could arise from them just even speaking out about it. It's terrifying. It really is. And it's horrible what Grace has gone through. It fucking sucks to hear that. It's awful. And my heart breaks for everyone in the industry that's had similar experiences to Grace. It's honestly, Hollywood is just so fucking corrupt. There are so many awful people that operate in that industry and have openly operated in that industry for quite some time now. Now, I'm not saying everyone in Hollywood's bad, of course. There are going to be some good people in Hollywood, absolutely. It's not 100%. But we can't dismiss the fact that there is an outrageously large amount of scum and fucking terrible things that have been happening behind the scenes for years. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about all of that. That's really about it. So yeah.
هذه الفكرة انه مش الكل انه بيعمل هذا الشيء، او العالم كلهم مش سواسية، فبتلقى الزين وبتلقى الشين. فبنسمع اكيد بينتشر الاخبار اكثر واكثر مادام انه الموضوع عن بنت ممثلة ف 1000%. لحظة خلينا نشوف تويتر. شوف شو المواضيع. International Women's Day. يا سلام، في يوم المرأة العالمي بعد. 1000% بتحصل من ضمن أخبار كريبتو. سيمور. نشوف لمار تكر. كلها أخبار كرة سلة. فلويد. مستر بيست. كمستر بيست على أساس إنه لما كان بيستخدم العالم كله يريد يكنسله على أساس إنه بيستخدم الناس اللي بيتبرع لهم وهذه الأشياء إنه عشان يحصل مشاهدات أكثر. أوكي، شوف يعني إذا الشخص موافق بيحصل مساعدة، وبالآخر إنه أعطاك الموافقة عشان تستخدمه في الفيديو وبيعمل خير يعني بالآخر، مش إنه بعد ما يعطيهم الفلوس ياخذهم. ف نشوف الفيديو تبع لاينس واختراعاته.
Then came this, and finally, oh my goodness! Intel succumbed to madness and gave us the third.
ما أعرف ليش كل ما أشوف الفيديوهات تبع لاينس إنه يحسسني البطاطا اللي بستخدمها حاليا ما تسوى ولا شيء.
10900K, a CPU that cannot be tamed by any cooler. Challenge accepted. While most people would think it's pretty stupid to spend more on your cooling system than you did on your computer, most people are not these guys. Between the two of us, we've built not one, not two, but 4 separate water chillers, and this one is bigger than all of them combined. Meet the Chillpocalypse, a 5,000 watt beast that was designed to cool industrial lasers. This is one of our rare opportunities to use purpose-built equipment instead of just janking it with stuff that we get from Princess Auto. So we're going to be getting into the meat of how this thing works, and of course, we'll be hooking it up to Intel's latest compact furnace unit to see if even this is enough. We'll laugh, we'll cry, we might even leak some coolant on the floor, if you know what I mean. And we'll also tell you about our sponsor,
Build Redux. Looking to level up your gaming experience? Build Redux is here to help. They'll create a custom gaming PC that is
فيديوهاته مسلية، ما أعرف ليش، على أساس إنه يعمل تجارب على أشياء يعني مستحيل أنا أعملها. خاصة من ناحية الأشياء اللي ظهرها.
an integration engineer and absolute legend who works in a large industrial plant.
أي غطى على الاسم تبع الشركة اللي شغال فيها عشان ما يفضحها.
Until recently it started throwing up errors. Except that after they replaced it with a new one, a kink was found in the hose, meaning this one was actually totally fine the whole time. But it was cheaper to just leave the new one in service and scrap this boy. So our hero John took it home to use on a CNC machine, except the plan didn't work out, so he gave it to us so we could torture some computers. Thanks, John, because there's absolutely no way we would have bought one of these things new. Let's take a closer look at this baby and talk about some speeds and feeds, shall we?
كفر تبعه حسسني انه كمبيوتر، نفس تشكيلة المكيف من داخل، المروحات تبع الغاز.
Look at that!
That's fun.
First up, it runs on 208 volt power, so we need Alex's
لحظة.
CNC cord. No! Look at that!
هذا تحت، هذا من تحت في طابقين وهذا من فوق. اوكي هذا شو ايش اسمه هذاك؟ نسيت اسمه. كمبريسر. لا اللي تحت الكمبريسر صح؟ لخبطت صراحة مش.
So we need Alex's sketchy cord. No, not the sketchy cord. Fine, bring the sketchy cord. And while there are multiple ways to chill water below ambient temperature, We've used evaporative cooling, Peltier cooling in the past. The most efficient is, of course, phase change. So down here, we find a large compressor as well as a condenser unit with a fan on it. Yeah, I know, right? Look at the size of this condenser. And then
المضخة هذه يعني.
the cold side, I guess the evaporator is over here embedded in the water tank. That is a smaller water tank than I expected.
Yeah, there's a lot of not much in here.
Yeah, I sort of thought like they boast temperature control of just 0.1 degrees Celsius, which is super important for
اوكي الانابيب تبعه يعني مش كبيرة كثير، فممكن يوصلوا يركبوا تبع الكولر تبع البي سي يعني على طول بشكل مباشر، لكن بيكون احلى اذا ركبوا بي سي كامل عليه يعني داخل المكيف نفسه. ف يعني الواحد يفكر انه عمي المكيف تبع البيت وهو اساسا كمبيوتر، المكيف تبع الكمبيوتر.
for lasers where a 2-degree difference can cause visible banding during an etch. But in order to achieve that, I kind of thought that they would have a very large reservoir so that they wouldn't have to cycle the compressor all that often. But if this had a 5,000 watt load in it with just that much water, I kind of feel like it would be, oh, you know what? I bet it's one of those more efficient variable compressors like you find on modern AC units. At the cost, of course, that would make sense. This is not okay. I can't believe you still have this. He just made a completely non-regulation cord that goes from this to this and just has this tape on it. And then we're just using a standard PC power cord. I hate everything about this. However they do it, it seems to be taken care of by the controller hardware in here, where we also find power distribution. Everything we've seen so far is pretty similar to other chillers we've set up in the past. What isn't is the pump. Now, most pumps that you encounter in everyday life are centrifugal pumps, meaning that the water gets sucked into the middle and then an impeller accelerates the fluid toward the outside where it is kind of collected and channeled into an outlet. And it works great in most situations. The problem is that as either the pressure of the system or the viscosity of the fluid increases, the flow rate of the centrifugal pump decreases.
Well, a normal D5 computer pump can push about 1,500 liters of water an hour. Once you get up to about 5 psi, nothing is happening. The positive displacement turbine pump we have here, though, looks a bit more like this. No matter what you do, it's going to give you 1,080 liters per hour.
Are you serious? Okay, no, but how does it work? It looks like a centrifugal pump. Oh, so it just goes at a fixed speed. So if this motor is not completely overwhelmed by whatever it's pumping, it just goes.
Yeah.
Period.
These are considered fixed flow rate pumps for the most part until you hit like, you know, horsepower.
And break it.
Or half horsepower.
Wow. What's one of these boys worth?
$769.
شيش على مضخة.
Who make equipment like this are so protective of their trade secrets because it's as simple as opening one up and you're like, yeah, with some sheet metal fabrication and a trip to Home Depot, I could pretty much put this together.
Yeah, this came with an anti-corrosive thing in it. It's mostly been drained out, but there might still be some, and I looked it up, and it will absolutely destroy water blocks.
Okay.
Yeah, just flush it out, we should be good.
Do not operate chiller unless fluid diffuser is installed.
It's in there.
What the devil's a fluid diffuser?
You know like the little sponge that you put in an EK pump?
Yeah.
It's basically that.
So it's just to keep air bubbles from getting drawn back into the pump.
نفس اللي يكون بغسالة الملابس. بعرف شوي اللي لما تغسل الملابس انه يجمع القماش وهذه الاشياء. وبرضه يعني يصفي اذا بتكب الماء داخل الشيء.
Oh, ew, that stinks. Is that the Nalcool? Why are you doing that?
I wanted to see how it smelled.
Oh, do you smell this?
This right here smells pretty bad. It's like
بيشمون كل شيء.
I'm gonna go clean this. Off camera, Alex described the smell as spoiled Vaseline.
ها؟
Yeah.
شو درب الفازلين المنتهي؟
Now it is. What are you working on?
I took a little trip to the plumbing supply store to adapt this, which came on it, with this down to like some computer tubing.
But these look like gas fittings, and in fact, they're color-coded for gas.
I don't know.
I mean,
That's what was on there.
If it can hold gas, it can hold liquid, right? Pretty much. You put a lot of Teflon tape on here, Alex, and I don't know if you wrapped it the right way.
Yeah, that one's the wrong way. This one's the right way, though.
Okay, well, what are you doing right now?
Well, it's just not working because I'm on camera, and doing things on camera is hard. Is this correct?
No.
Righty-tighty. Oh, yeah, that isn't. Damn it. Here's my thought. Tube into distilled water.
Wait, you haven't checked the manual? Like, you have no idea how to do this? Do you even know how to prime the pump?
We could definitely look at the manual.
لحظة، في مخرج هذا في مخارج ومداخل نفس تبع الكمبيوتر، ففي برمجة الموضوع، مش إنه مضخة وكمبرسر وهذه الأشياء البسيطة يعني.
Well, it holds more water than I thought, Alex, based on the size of that reservoir. There goes a gallon.
Oh.
Oh no, it's not level. The bubble's on the one side. We gotta tip her over. No, I'm kidding. You can't do that because there's a compressor.
Do you know what's fantastic, Linus? We cannot kill ourselves with this.
Oh, that's
mostly.
Good. Which way do these twist? Clockwise? Counterclockwise? Hold on, give me a sec. Oh no, it just doesn't twist that much. Okay, fine.
Hello?
16.9 degrees Celsius. Nice. What is happening? Whatever it is seems really bad.
Yeah, that seemed really bad. It sounded...
Whoa! She's going!
All right, kill it. Oh,
I can't. You have it.
Yeah. All right, it works. Works great.
Alex!
What?
You know that momentum of water will cause that to like go erect, right?
Yes, clearly.
You haven't peed and let it get away from you.
All right, get it.
So what's your plan once you squeegee it?
I was gonna squeegee it out the door, but okay, I'm just gonna spread it out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what mopping does anyway. Now instead of having a small, very slippery spot, we have a large, somewhat slippery spot.
أكيد مؤمنين عادي
I
إذا حد صار
understand
له
how the
شيء.
reservoir figured into all this, but what I don't understand is why it didn't. Oh wait, no, I do understand.
It did suck a bit, and then it went back in.
What do we do now? What even is this video?
We have two options depending on what we want to do. I kind of want to see what happens if we just attach it to like a block like this. But also like we just saw what happens when the pump gets run when the things are closed. It's only half horsepower. It's not as much as I thought.
Oh, okay. The original plan was for us to kink one of these tubes and like blow up the block with the pressure or something like that. We don't really think that's going to happen, but we're going to do this anyway because it gives us an opportunity to make sure the system works as we expect and maybe filter out some additional gunk before we hook it up to the Corsair loop over there. Not that that's a particularly smart way to do that, Alex.
It's more fun though.
Wow! Holy crap, she rips, dog.
Yeah.
And immediately everything is purged of all possible air bubbles because she rips. Did I mention she rips? I feel like this is gonna work.
Yeah, I think this is gonna work really well.
Yeah. Is there a minimum specified load on this thing? Like air conditioner units, for example, are expected to have a certain duty cycle. They're expected to turn on once in a while. Or like a car that sits in storage for 10 years, for example, just because it has
على أساس إنه المكيف، خاصة المكيفات المربعة، تسمع الصوت واضح يعني بشكل غير طبيعي. يعني لما الكمبرسر يشتغل فجأة على أساس إنه يبرد الهواء اللي عم يضخه. إيه هو متوقع هذا الشيء، يعني متى بيزيد الضغط تبع الكمبرسر على اللي بيركبه في الكمبيوتر عشان ما ينفجر في الكمبيوتر نفسه. لكن توقعتهم انه ما اعرف اذا راح يقرب اول شيء يعني من برا، بعدين متوقع كنت اكثر منه على اساس انه يركب الكمبيوتر داخل الوحدة تبع التكييف يعني يعمل وصلات مع غير تركب مثلا الوصلة تبع الشاشة في المكيف نفسه. بيطلع شكله غريب يعني، ما حد يكون متوقع انه هذا تكييف للكمبيوتر. المكيف كله للكمبيوتر مش للبيت او للغرفة او شيء.
has 0 miles on it. That's not a good thing.
No, it goes down to 0. It's fine.
Like 0 load.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't we turn it down? She's going.
Okay,
She's
yeah,
going.
it's going.
She's going. You know what? I think it just took a second for the compressor to kick in. She's going fast now. This volume of water 0.1 of a degree. She's going now. I can feel the change now. Look at this thing go. Wow. This is unbelievable.
It's working now, that's for sure.
This is getting hard to hold my hand on now. This is getting cold. We are below 5. Not a thing I was expecting to happen. 3 degrees. Oh, low temperature. It goes down to 3, and then it gets mad, and then it turns off.
Yeah, there's a low temperature warning on it.
Yeah, but why
it says
would
in the manual, so it doesn't chill things more.
Yeah, but I set it to 5. Enter. See, it's going down more.
Oh yeah, why is it going down more? You'd think it would just stop.
ايه حركة حلوة.
I'm spilling water.
Oh, that's a really bad idea.
No, I got this. Hold on. What? Boom. Here we go. Oh, geez, Alex. I mean, that computer doesn't need coolant, does it? There's a lot of copper in these blocks, right? You can just absorb the heat.
We're going into Windows now.
Yeah. All right, so I want to see the temps in Windows.
The fans are getting mad.
Spinning up the fans. Okay, I want to see these temps go down. CPU temperature, CPU package, 100 degrees. Here we go.
Yep, that's a pretty good graph.
Yeah. See you later, heat.
I actually want to use this in some projects just to get the air out. Just
see you later, air. Done. I think I know the answer to this question then. Can it tame the 13900K? GPU's at 10 degrees. Nice.
Yep, so what we're looking for is to beat 36.6. 80 degrees was also the maximum recorded temperature before.
I don't think we're gonna get to, wow, we're still at 63.
It's the IHS.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do. If the bottleneck is the actual die transferring heat through the copper IHS. Wow, that's a substantial improvement. And that's over a water cooling system that has...
اوكي هم بيتكلموا عن مثلا المحلول اللي تحطه ما بين السي بي يو عن المعالج والمبرد نفسه، ففي نوعية زئبق تقريبا، فينقل البرودة بشكل غير طبيعي. ليش ما يستخدموه على أساس إنه هذا مش تبريد عادي، على أساس إنه يستخدمون المحلول العادي تبع اللي ما بين السي بي المعالج والتبريد. وبرضه هم بيبردوا بس المعالج، يعني لحظة بيبردوا المعالج لحاله ولا بيبردوا الاثنين؟ إنه في وصلة ما بين كرت الشاشة رايحة للمعالج وراجعة مرة ثانية، تقريبا بيبردوا الاثنين. لكن أتوقع من درجة البرودة راح يأثر على المعالج نفسه. أوكي المعالج ما بيبرد أكيد، يعني ما راح يسخن، لكن برضه في نفس الوقت ممكن يبرد ويتثلج يعني، وممكن ينشق.
has 320 millimeter fans on it and literally exactly the same block.
Yes.
620 millimeter fans.
Yes.
And was that even a pre-warmed loop?
Nope.
Wow. There's two ways to look at this then. One is Intel is actually shipping a CPU that nobody can run at its full potential, or two, Intel's shipping a CPU that, you know, has so much for you to unlock.
Yeah.
That's another angle. I'm just not used to seeing graphs like that. Up, flat, down. No other cooling system we've used behaves like this. They ramp up and they ramp down. This has a ton of potential applications for us. Like imagine we were trying to test something like a water block, for example.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting around and waiting for the system to reach equilibrium, we could just run a load, immediately collect the data because we have a fixed coolant temperature so we can calculate the delta, and that's it. Move on to the next thing. Now, obviously, out of the box, that wouldn't be applicable to PC water cooling because the pumps we use are much weaker. But what we could do is we could create a reservoir that has 2 inlets and 2 outlets, so it's kind of like a water mixer, and then we could run a regular PC cooling pump on the one side taking this temperature-controlled water, and this could just circulate water in there.
Anyway, what I want to do is cool the whole lounge.
You want to cool 12 computers with it?
Yes, 5,000 watts of cooling.
I mean, I guess you could. So Cinebench.
These can probably do like 5.
Cinebench
let's try
مش
5,
ستيم.
8.
Wait, so what on earth are you doing? You're setting our best cores to 6 gigahertz. Oh my god. Alex. She crashed, Alex.
Oh, this has 6,000 mega transfer per second RAM in it, I believe. Memory controllers and overclocking on 13th gen, bad time. Yeah, let's try 5.6.
All right, 0.14. Here we go. Some more voltage. Let's just do a quick run.
Huh. This might be a really bad CPU.
Let's try just not as aggressive again. Apply. Whoa, okay. We're at 100 degrees, Alex. 38,000 points?
That's not bad. So it's drawing 380 watts. So that would be why we're thermal throttling.
This CPU is
101.
literally uncoolable.
We got 39 though.
39,000 points? I like this thing.
Yeah, this is a good chiller.
Especially relative to our previous attempts. 39,151.
We're thermal throttling, so we essentially just cannot get any more speed by increasing it here because it's going to go down anyway. So I think we just reduce the core voltage.
0.12.
Okay, score's going up. 39.7.
39,785. Man, now I want to put one of these in my basement. Just chill the entire rack. I think I might be in love.
Thank you, John.
We're not sending this back?
No, this is just ours.
Thanks, John. Okay, shout out John's side hustle with the light box things. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Stop! No. Trust your first instinct. No.
Okay.
No. I don't want it to crash again. Let's give her more juice. I think I know how to use this now.
Oh
Oh, we broke
آخر
40K.
الكلمات.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, can we run a GPU load real quick here? I want to see what
Oh,
the GPU
sure.
runs at. Is
يا ابني
this
أول
Ryzen
بيقربوا
5
الCPU بس ما
running at
قربوا
130
الGPU.
frames per second at 4K absolutely cranked?
Yes, with ray tracing.
18 degrees on the GPU, which is turboing to 2.73. And to be clear, 4090s pretty much universally have way over-spec'd coolers. This is without us even adjusting anything, which is wild.
Well, we gained 4 FPS.
Yeah! And we gained this segue to our sponsor.
yeah خلص الفيديو. اوكي المعالج نفسه تبع وش اسمه تبع الانتل هو المشكلة. يعني لو شو بنحاول ما راح يقبل درجة تبريد، فراح يظل يسخن خاصة اللي هم مقربينه تبع الاي 9. اوكي شو نحضر بعد؟ كلير. مش عارف شو اتفرج عليه. اعطانا شيء نحضره. اوكي 16 تي بي سكي امازون.
This is obviously fake. A 16 terabyte SSD for $110. Sales way past too good to be Trueville, clear into you must have been trying to get ripped off of us. Or at least you would think that. For the average shopper, it is shockingly easy to run into scam products on the world's largest e-commerce platform.
اوكي اذا احد من قبل مقرب يشتري من علي اكسبرس اوكي عندهم اشياء رخيصة، لكن من بعد ما اجى كورونا وهذه الاشياء صار قيمة الشحن ضعف قيمة المنتج اللي موجود، فكذا ولا كذا خسارة. لكن في منتجات حلوة. حصلت معالج i7 كم كان $20 أو $19، في تحصل اشياء حلوه، لكن مش عارف هو معروض في الموقع اكيد، لكن هل بيوصل لك شغال او في مشكله، او مش راح يوصل اساسا بعد ما تشتري. فمن قبل مقرب على اشياء تبع السياره تبعي، مشتري اشياء يعني دفعت عنها اشياء بسيطه يعني ما تستاهل، على اساس انه اعمل عليها مشكله او شيء، لكن اشتريت اشياء واختفى البائع. يعني الشخص اللي عمل الملف تبع البيع في علي اكسبريس يعني يختفي، لا يرد ولا شيء، يعني حتى الملف تبعه يختفي اذا حاولت ادخل لعنده. ف على طول شوف لك احد عنده يعني اراء من ناس كثير وتقييمه حلو، على اساس انه اوكي هذا شخص حقيقي ما راح يضحك عليك ولو مدة طويلة، فبيبني السمعة تبعه، يعني مش راح يخسرها على شخص واحد.
Look at this. A quick search for external SSD yields real, fake on the second line. But come on, Linus, you might say. No one would buy a 1-star rated product from
حتى في امازون نفس الحالة، لكن برضو هذول مقرب من قبل اشتري واحدة تبعهم الاس اس دي، هذول اللي يجيلك سلم مثل تبع سامسونج وش اسمه الدبليو دي، الشركات هذول تبع يعني المعروفة انه اوكي يعملوا اس اس دي حلو. فطلبت واحد من قبل من علي اكسبرس اكيد، يعني شفته رخيص الدرجة جرب اتوقع كم $5 او $4. فطلبته، اوكي كم بيخزن وبينقل ملفات، لكنه بطيء بشكل غير طبيعي مقارنة بالاي اس اس دي. فقلت اوكي بشوف شو داخله، ففتحت فتحت الكفر تبعه عشان اشوف يعني نوعيه الاس اس دي اللي موجود داخله، والمعالج وش اسمه الذاكره، هل في وش اسمه دي رام وهذول الاشياء. ففتحت لقيت يو اس بيز 4 يو اس بيز كل واحد 10 جيجا. 10 جيجا لا 1 تيرا، يعني المجموع كله يوصل 1 تيرا. ف يعني مجرد داخل الكفر مركبين نفس الوصلة تركب عليها يو اس بيز، يعني 3 قطع او 4 قطع يو اس بيز، بس مغطين عليهم على اساس انهم ذاكرة محمولة اس اس دي. ف بشكل غير طبيعي هذه الاشياء تصير. فالمشكلة انه ما تعرف من المنتج، خاصة اذا ما حد حاط مثل هذا تقييمه ضعيف لكن سعره رخيص، فانت بتقول اوكي صفقة حلوة، لكن برضو ما توثق في هذول. شوف لك احد عنده تقييم عالي، كان في امازون علي اكسبرس، شوف تقييمه وشوف الناس حاطين صور المنتج، في بعض منهم هم لحالهم يفتحوا المنتج على اساس انه يشوفوا شو داخله، هل عن قد اس اس دي ولا نفس اللي صار معي وطلع يو اس بيز.
OKQKOK, which is fair enough. But what about these ones with nice prices, dozens of positive reviews, and prime shipping? Fake, fake, fake. And yet, Amazon is somehow allowing these scammers to not only list their wares, but to achieve prominent positions in search results. What's going on over there?
فأكيد ينضحك عليك أسرع بعد.
Rocket to take care of your customers? I mean, maybe. But also know the process that these companies.
اللي يسمع انه بيزوس هو اللي البليونير صاحب الامازون، يعني اوكي هذيك الشركة تبعه بالاخر، مش انه عم يشرف على كل شيء، هو بليونير مش فاضي عشان يركز على شركة، عنده مدراء وهذه الاشياء، فما بيركز على المنتجات وشو مين عم يبيع ومين عم يشتري، فآخر همه المهم انه الفلوس بتوصل له وخلاص.
Companies use to defraud both unsuspecting shoppers and Amazon themselves is surprisingly savvy, and kind of like draconian anti-cheat methods, cracking down on them could end up harming the legitimate sellers more than it harms the bad actors. Just like it would harm me to not tell you about our sponsor.
Build Redux. They make it easy to configure your new build with support guides to help along the way. They also offer competitive pricing as compared to building a PC yourself. Head to buildredux.com/Linus and start your new build today.
Let's open up with a look at our 2 attempts to play ourselves here. First up is a 2 terabyte USB 3.1 portable SSD from Lurkser, that is $36.99. From the product page on Amazon, it says that its features are 3
تيرا بايت. هذول يعني اللي بدون براند ما عليهم اي شيء ولا بس تحصل عليهم مكتوب كذا على طول مشكوك في امرهم. لكن غريب انهم ما اوكي تقييمه 15 تقييم، 15 شخص مقيمه وعاطينه نجمتين ونص، ف على طول مشكوك بامره. فعلى طول الواحد بيروح بيشوف تحت هل احد كاتب اي شيء. اذا ما حصلت لا بدون تعليقات وبدون صور من الناس اللي مشتريه المنتج من قبل لا تشتري. لازم على الاقل 3-4 اشخاص حاطين صورة المنتج لانهم شاريينه ومقربينه. في بعض منهم حتى يعني فاتحين المنتج يعني يشوفوا شو داخله.
inch hard drive and Type-C port. Compare that to the $120 of
اوكي هذا براند بالاخير، فاكيد الواحد راح يوثق بالبراند ما دامه ساند ديسك.
greedy Western brands, and even if it does lack a loop for a strap or some ruggedization, it's a no-brainer, right? For a tech-minded audience, this difference in price would actually
لا عاد مسجل عليه M2 SSD. يعني شرحت الذاكرة تبع الM2 مستحيل
be a huge red flag.
بهذاك السعر.
But guys, you gotta put yourself in the shoes of your uncle who spends more time de-weeding his garden than defragging his discs. I mean, look at this hand trowel.
ايه صح، بالاخر على حسب المشتري. يعني في ناس ما لها عارفة شو اللي بتشتريه، بس مجرد انه شافت فيديو حد بيتكلم على SSD وحد بيتكلم على يعني اشياء انت تريدها عشان تبني الكمبيوتر تبعك، مش عارفين شو هذه الاشياء غير اساميها، فبيكتب لك على طول SSD، بيطلع له اي SSD بيشوف له على حسب الميزانية تبعه، يا اما بيروح على البراند ولا على حسب تقييم ولا على حسب الشيء، يا اما بيشوف الارخص شيء وبياخذه على اساس انه اول مرة بيبني ولا اول مرة بيركب الكمبيوتر، فبيمشي على الرخيص عشان اذا اخترب ولا اذا ما ضبط معه يشتري غيره، يكون عنده يعني ما زال عنده فلوس على اساس يشتري غيره.
It's probably not a scam. A 70% discount might not seem like an obvious problem. I mean, even in tech there are categories like cables, for example, where you could easily spend a fifth of the price if you aren't subsidizing a bloated marketing budget or paying an influencer tax. Okay, even at the price, that's a good screwdriver, independently verified. I don't want to hear about it.
لازم يحطوا المنتج تبعهم.
Fair shake, right? What the heck? This is not a good sign.
ايش طاح؟
What are these? It's crap already in ways I couldn't have possibly expected. It comes with a micro B to USB-A adapter and a Type-C to USB-A adapter, but even though it's color-coded blue, this is in fact a USB 2.0 adapter.
مش 3.
Because you can see the other 5 pins aren't in there.
شو هذه بداية الاحتيال يعني، واضح من المنتج يعني الوصلات اللي يجوا معه. التايب A والتايب B فمن بدايتها على طول. شفت كيف يعملوا لك اياه لدرجة انه صعب تفتحه على اساس انه ما ينفضحه اذا كان يعني مش اصلي SSD، وحاسوا يعني من طريقة التغليف يعني وحاطين لك حديد على اساس انه تحس بوزن بدل ما تحس بالخفة اذا كان داخله USB. ف الأسوأ في الموضوع اذا طلعوا SD كارد تبع الذاكرة تبع التليفون. هذا أسوأ منه يطلع لك على الأقل USB ممكن تستخدمه، يعني أوكي تفك هذا الحال وتستخدم USB، لكن إذا طلعوا لك هذولاك ما متوقع USB.
Once again, USB 3 color coded, actually USB 2 cable.
Is that actually a standard thing like the
Yes.
احتمال أكبر. أوكي مدام SSD وحاطين لك USB 2 مش USB 3، ف معظم وش اسمه في جيلك يعني ميموري USB ميموري اليو اس بي تبعه رقم 3 مش رقم 2، لكن القطعة اللي تحول انه لما تركب فيه اكثر من يو اس بي القطعة اللي تحول هي المشكلة، يعني تكون ما تدعم غير اليو اس بي 2، فيضطروا يعطوك انه الكيبلات يعني شكلها تبع يو اس بي 3 لكن هي تبع يو اس بي 2 عشان بس انه ما ينفضحوا ولا يجيبوا العيد ويركبوا لك يو اس بي 2 بعد على اساس انه ليش يوقعوا راسهم بالموضوع اساسا.
That's like specified by USB standards.
There's some non-standard colors like Razer does green.
Yeah, I've
ones,
seen
and, like,
that.
OnePlus does red. I've seen purple ones.
شفت نوعية اليو اس بي. مش عارف ليش خلاص العالم بدأ يتغير اليو اس بي تايب سي مش A و B وهذا الاشياء.
I've seen yellow ones for like higher power or whatever, but blue means USB 3 in theory. How suspicious. These two SSDs from very different brands use the same elements of their images.
النسخ واللصق على طول.
Hard drives to represent SSDs. Does it say it has two SSDs in it? You know what? We'll get to that one later. 19 megabytes per second reads.
Wow, oh my god.
Thank goodness it's Type C and
M2.
It is not.
لا من السرعة 19 ام بي يعني سرعة النقل تبعه.
High speed, you
هاي
say.
سبيد كذا.
More like speed. I don't think that's made in the video.
Is it still running?
Yeah. It's just taking absolutely forever to write the test file to it. Something is definitely...
اوكي الحين شكونا في الموضوع انه مش يو اس بي حتى داخله مش حاطين اليو اس بي اس دي كارد يعني الميموري تبع التليفون اللي يركبه في التليفون انه سرعته بطيئه حتى مقارنه باليو اس بي العادي.
a miss here. But even though the product page didn't specify a rated speed when we clicked buy, it's actually been updated since then to reflect its USB 2-ness. This product isn't necessarily a scam yet. It's just really slow.
It does take
مش
literal
بعد.
use of the term USB 3.
Yeah, USB 3-ish.
It supports part of the USB.
اوكي ما حكوا انه يو اس بي 3 لكن ملونينه على اساس انه يو اس بي 3 فمشكلة المشتري صح اذا توقع انه يو اس بي 3 مجرد انه شاف الوصلة تبع اليو اس بي 3.
USB 3.0 standard.
If you plug
which
it
is
into
USB 2.
Yeah, if you plug it into a USB 3 port, it will be detected. Now, tell me something, Adam. Do you know the answer to this already? Can I actually play back anything that's on it?
Surprisingly, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it either because I assumed at first that it would just be like a 32 gigabyte.
We've seen that scam before, where they just play around with the firmware of the device to make it show a large capacity, but when you actually try to write data to it, it turns out that it's not actually there. If you try to read it back, it's just gone.
I mean,
Shit.
look at the device properties for
We'll
this.
see here.
عشان كذا اوكي رغم انه البراندات اسعارها مكلفة لكن بالاخر انك بتشتري براند فاذا صار شيء ممكن ترجعه ولا ممكن تحكي مع الشركة ويعني والشركة براند في الاخر فبتتجنب هذه الاشياء على اساس انه ما تنفضح. ف يعني اريح من ناحية انه ضمان انه شيء يشتغل مش انه تشتري شيء مثل هذولا وتنقل عليه بيانات مهمة مثلا صورت شيء او تنقل ملفات من عند رفيقك واخذتهم وتوصل للبيت على اساس انه تحصل الملفات كلها ما تقدر تعمل فيها اي شيء مثلا ما تقدر تنقلها ما تقدر تنسخها ما عليك غير انه تعمل فورمات من اول وجديد. فهذا اللي يخوف الموضوع انه خاصة اذا سافرت لمكان على اساس انه تستخدم هذاك ولما ترجع تلقى انه كل اللي نسخته ونقلته على الفاضي خاصة اذا كانت اشياء مهمة.
No, because the device properties will report correctly. Oh my goodness, can we just play this file, please? Here we go. Oh wow, it's at 100% use, playing a video.
It is red footage.
You put all red footage on it?
Because it's 4 gigabyte increments, so I can keep loading it and tell when it actually would die.
اوكي الرد هي الكاميرا رد اذا عشان كذا بيقول الكاميرا رد تسجل يعني تصور 4K فعشان كذا هو بيحكي له انه ملفات تبع رد فالكاميرا رد الكواليتي بالهبل تبعها لكن اكيد حجم الملف بيكون اكثر هبل من التصوير تبعها.
Gosh darn it, Adam.
It was a clever maneuver.
One of the issues we're running into here is if they are pulling a capacity scam, maybe the actual capacity is 128 gigs or 256 gigs. It would take us forever to fill this thing. Can I play back this file? Yes. Hey, look, it's my baby boy. Use space, 176 gigs. Okay, free space. Wait, vendor co? Yes. This is the vendor co product code USB device. Just leaving placeholders? I guess assuming they're running a firmware capacity hack is giving them too much credit. Oh, wow, it's like I can actually see it looking for the next block of NAND. I don't think I have the patience to find out if they're running a capacity scam. Let's just
no.
The
fact that it put 170 gigs on it is like actually makes it not a terrible deal. What, like $16 for 128 gigs?
This drive is copying at 0 bytes per second right now, Adam. It's a terrible deal. It's a terrible product.
If you can't handle it at its lowest, you don't deserve it at its best.
I need to not stab my hand with this. Okay, well, things are about to get interesting. Hey, there we go.
Okay.
Yep. That is a NAND package. It is actually hot glued and not screwed to the sled. What appears to be just about the cheapest, smallest controller I can.
اوكي تطوروا على الاقل بيحطوا لك الشب مكان هذا بدل انهم يعطون لك ادابتر ويركبوا لك يو اس بي ولا يركبوا لك وش اسمه الميموري كارد ولا يركبوا لك اس اس دي نفسه الام دوت 2 ف طوروا راح يركبوا يعني يجيبوا لك قطع كامله ويركبوا فيها الذاكره نفسها. اوكي على الاقل مقبول عشان اشياء تافهه يعني ممكن انه تضيع عليك في اي لحظه.
Possibly imagine. Can confirm this is not wired for any kind of USB anything other than USB 2. I'm going to try and peel this glue off and then we can check the part number of this. I pretty much promise you that that is not 2 terabytes. We just didn't manage to completely fill it up because that would take a long time. Adam, I'm afraid that this may not survive.
Oh no.
The operation. Okay, here we go.
Oh no, $16. Oh no.
Stop. Chip name. No name 2. Perfect. That's really helpful. This is apparently a 64 gigabyte chip. This is the closest match we found. Whoop. It's almost certainly this from Bolo here, which would indicate that this is a 64 gigabyte chip. That means that the way it's continuing to copy more data is that it is deleting older data, which would explain when we're writing to it the high speed, low speed.
Okay.
It's not like there's any caching or anything.
يعني لما بيطلع وينزل على اساس انه يمسح القديم ويكتب الجديد. اوكي يكتب عليه 64 مش عارف شو. اوكي ليش عاملين هاي اللف والدورة على اساس انه بيمسح ملفاتك اللي موجود على اساس انه ينسخ ملفاتك اللي بتنسخها. بس عشان يشرج الواحد اسعار زيادة عن اللزوم.
So it's got to be deleting stuff in the background. Scamazon. What about this 16 terabyte drive though? At $100, there is
$100
no
16
way
تي
this
بي.
is real when you consider that a brand name 8 terabyte internal drive will cost more than 10 times this.
سابرنت 8 تيرا شيش 1367 وذاك اشتروا 16 تيرا ب $100. اوكي ليش لا يمكن الارخص اضمن. المهم وفر مبلغ. نزل الالعاب كلهم تبعك وبالاخر ولا لعبه تشتغل.
Oh, this one's got a purple USB 2 cable. Cute. Surprise, surprise. It's the exact same. Oh no, it's not the exact same drives. Oh, what? Did the Chinese scammers rip off the other Chinese scammers? I'm serious. It looks like one of these molds is a rip-off of the other one. Because this one has these lines from the mold here in the exact same oval shape as this one. But then this one has marks from the tool pass, and this one doesn't. I can't tell who's ripping off who. I can tell that they both ripped off me.
بالآخر كل واحد بيسرق من الثاني. يعني كوبي بيست وعدل عليه شوي. هاي الفكرة. لكن المهم انهم طوروا، ما عاد صاروا يحطوا قطعات USB او قطعات ميموري كارد داخل الكفر. يعني صاروا انه بيصنعوا القطعة كاملة وحاطين يعني فيها الميموري، مش انه تقدر تشيل USB. خسارة في نفس الوقت، على اساس بالاول اذا انضحك عليك ممكن تاخذ USB وتستخدمه للميموري وتستخدمه في شيء ثاني. لكن بهاي الطريقة راح عليك. يعني مجرد انه تنتبه على الحجم اللي تنسخه، على اساس انه ما تنسخ شيء ويمسح القديم، ولا بس حط فيه كمية محددة من الحجم، انقل هذاك الحجم بعدين انقل شيء غيره. يعني ما تنسخ شيء غير لما تخلص من الملفات اللي عندك بالاول داخل القطعة نفسها.
This one just has a micro SD card in it. Once again.
انا شفت لون اسود فكرت يعني نفس اللي اول حاطين يعني القطعة تبع يعني قطعة كاملة ميموري كاملة. لا هذول اتطوروا يعني رجعوا بالعكس، حاطين حاطين لك حاطين لك قطعة ميموري تبع التليفون، وكاتبين لك 16 تيرا صح؟ بنشوف عن قد 16 ولا.
Cheap controller, a little bit of NAND flash, and hot glue to the rescue again to keep everything in place. I'm not aware of a 16 terabyte SD card, but who knows? Maybe they have some amazing secret technology there that I've never heard of before. 64 gigs again.
64 يا سلام، كاتبين لك 116 تيرا بايت. ومتأكد نفس الطريقة انه راح اللي تنسخه يعني راح يمسح القديم يبدله بالجديد اللي بتنسخه.
Wait, why am I laughing? I just spent $100
$100
on
خسرت على الفاضي.
64 gig SD card. That's not funny. That sucks. While I and you have the technical knowledge to be wary of stuff like this and have the know-how to verify a product's functionality within that all-important return window, it's easy to imagine that many buyers will inspect their item for
شكلي اول ما لما اشتريت هذاك تبع اللي طلع داخله USB
obvious damage, then go back to binging Netflix or whatever they were doing until they get around to really using it sometime later. And that's not dumb. It's not unreasonable to expect that you can trust that a product is what you actually ordered. I mean, consider this. Raphael Jumpf, the proud owner of 3 anti-barking dog deterrents, all purchased on the same day, gave it 5 stars. And there's even international praise. Amazon customer says she loves the Blue Q bags so much. Wait a second.
Blue Q?
This review is about a completely different category of product, even though on first glance, the product page for this thing seems perfectly legit. What you're looking at here is the wombo combo of Amazon scammer tactics. The first is one that you're almost certainly familiar with. Fake reviews can be created en masse by either bots or humans, and especially with recent developments in large language models like ChatGPT, they can be difficult to detect with 100% accuracy. That explains just this thing is great or whatever, but it doesn't explain how that tote bag review ended up there. That's something different. That was added to the product page using a process called review merging. Basically, the seller takes an old listing of an actual product and then abuses their ability to edit that listing by changing literally everything about it, but leaving the reviews in place. This makes the product appear to be sold to real customers and reviewed well by the aforementioned real customers, while being much less expensive than paying real people to sit and write.
عشان كده فكرة حلوة انه تحط اسم المنتج وانت بتقيمه، يعني في التعليقات تحط اسم المنتج، على اساس انه إذا أحد جاء من بعدك يشوفك بتتكلم على المنتج نفسه أو منتج مختلف.
Reviews and much harder to detect than simple bot-generated reviews. And it has the added benefit of boosting search rankings. Let's say they started with a product from a super high volume category like socks, for example. Then they take that sock and they convert it to a portable SSD. All of a sudden, it's on the bestseller list, and then a quick ad spend later, it's in the sponsored posts, and boy, does Amazon ever make an effort to mix sponsored placements in with regular ones. Now, of course, you're probably thinking at this point, all that sounds like a pretty short-term play. Can't Amazon just block the product and refuse to issue their payment when the negative reports roll in? In theory, yes. But think about how that might work. While some people will use the thing right away, figure out it's crap with an SD card in it, and report back, they are likely to be a very small percentage of the kind of people who would order something like this. People who are not that technical in the first place.
على بالهم عن جد.
And so,
يفكروا مشكلة من الجهاز.
knowing that they're dealing with a more mainstream user, can use a number of strategies to stall this process. First, they can engineer firmware hacks that will report different specs than the actual hardware, kind of like what we saw with the misreported capacity here and with the fake GPU scams that we've investigated in the past. This will dramatically delay the time between customers.
تبع الجي بي شفت انه يعني شو اقول لكم انه يشيلوا الجي بي يو ينظفوه يعني ويركبوا لك قطعة يعني يجمعوا لك جي بي يو مش جي بي يو يعني يحطوا لك مثلا جي بي يو 360 المهم 350 رقم صغير ويركبوا داخل القسم 1050 تبع الكرت شاشة يعني يحطوا لك كرت شاشة ضعيف في قسم كرت شاشة قوي ويبيعوا لك إياه بسعر الكرت الشاشة القوي فعلى أساس إنه يضحكوا على العالم مشكلة هذا الشيء.
And figuring out that it's bunk and all their data is actually gone. They can also gaslight you. You have a bad cable. Did you try updating your drivers? They can easily string someone along for a week or more with useless troubleshooting steps, and it's even possible that deep enough into that process, the customer will end up deciding, screw it, maybe this is just too complicated for me. It was $20, I don't care that much. Another thing to consider is that even for a completely non-functioning product, most people don't go straight for a negative public review. I mean,
يتواصلوا مع البائع بالأول قبل ما يعملوا أي
so it
شيء.
makes sense that you would contact the seller for a replacement. But at that point, well, they can just lie and say, oh, I'm so sorry, you got a DOA one. That was the wrong capacity.
رجع لنا عشان نودي لك صحيح.
I mean, most people aren't going to think to open up the chassis, Google a part number on the NAND package, and figure out exactly what this is. Especially if doing that could compromise their ability to get a warranty replacement or a refund. They can also try to buy you off. By compensating one user for changing their review to 5 stars, they might be able to keep their listing up long enough to scam another 5 or 50 or 500 people. And then finally, once those negative reports do finally start to pile up, they can appeal them. All of this is in service of keeping those listings up and looking legitimate for as long as possible, or at least long enough to get their bi-weekly payout from Amazon. So yes, Amazon could just not pay them, but if they were to reduce the frequency of their payouts, or if they started overzealously withholding payouts from legitimate sellers, the damage to their brand could be catastrophic. The solution to that then is to just garnish anything that the seller owes from the next payout. But if that seller is banned, then there isn't going to be another payout, and any customer refunds at that point are going to come out of Amazon's pocket, unless, again, they want catastrophic damage to their brand by letting the customer foot the bill. Of course, there is another option. Fraud is, by its very definition, illegal, literally everywhere on Earth. So why doesn't Amazon just take legal action against these companies and get their money back? This might seem off topic, but stick with me here. Have you ever wondered what's up with the rando names that Chinese companies use to brand their wares? I mean, do they not have Google Translate to come up with something coherent? Actually, no, but surely they do have a dictionary, right? Yes. But here's the thing. If you want to sell on Amazon, you need to have a trademark. And using real, pronounceable words greatly increases the odds of somebody else having already trademarked your name, even if it is something stupid like dong swipe. So if your business model then involves scamming people and inevitably being reported and banned from the platform, then you're going to need a lot of trademarks. So you make gibberish names like Govindvin or Detukdis. Then when you get banned, you just change a single letter, file a new trademark, and boom, you're back in scamness. I mean business. And these businesses, or I'll call them operations, are constantly spinning up new shell companies in order to obfuscate business partnerships, move funds, and to dodge responsibility. Here's a great example. Nai has been caught with their pants down here. Well, at least their vendor has. Look at all these generic listings that are just filled in by their seller Foshan Shin Hun Kwe Ifei Chuang Sheng.
اسم يعطيك ثقة بالمنتج.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a burner account, not even a little. Back to the idea then of getting money back from these guys. Even if China's legal system was fair and transparent and respected the rights of foreign entities, the cost of going after hundreds or thousands of these individually small-scale scammers that have completely disappeared into the ether would almost certainly be greater than the return. So it seems that Amazon has made the decision that the cost of compensating the victims of these scams is lower than the cost of preventing them in the first place, even if that means their entire shopping platform turns into a hellscape. Well, sort of. They apparently did spend $400 million in 2019 combating spam and scams. But there are just practical limits to what you can do. I mean, take the review merging exploit, for example. I mean, sure, they could just restrict everyone's ability to edit their product pages, but if they did that, then legitimate sellers would struggle to correct errors or ensure that their pages accurately reflect any small product revisions, like, say, for example, a new color that's available, by the way, in the US through the YouTube player itself. So go check that out. I mean, that's just one example
لازم
of
يحط
a
المنتج تبعه
legitimate
في الموضوع.
reason that product ratings and reviews should survive a page edit. It's the same great insulated water bottle, just in a new, fun, white and red color scheme.
يس راح يسهلوا الموضوع إذا عملوا إنه مثلا إذا مثلا غيرت اسم الفيديو يحطوا لك اسم الفيديو اللي قبله، ولا إذا مثلا تعليق في اليوتيوب مثلا أحد كاتب تعليق وعدل عليه يحطوا لك شو مثلا هذا كاتبين عليه إنه edited، لكن ما يطلعوا لك شو اللي كان قبله قبل ما يعمل له تعديل على التعليق تبعه. فلو يحطوا هذا الشيء يعني في الأسواق أمازون علي إكسبرس وهذه الأشياء، إنه الأسامي لما تتعدل يحطوا لك إنه نفس الشيء، يحطوا لك إنه edited يعني تعدل من قبل، ولما تكبس عليه يظهر لك شو كان اسمه قبل، على أساس تعرف إنه هذا المنتج ما كان هذا المنتج من قبل، على أساس تعرف إذا بيضحك عليك أو لا. يعني الموضوع سهل على أساس إنهم يعذبوا حالهم ويتعقبوا هذول كلهم اللي بيعملوا كذا.
Right? Or like, what if you had a USB 3 product and all of a sudden you needed to change it to reflect the new USB 3.2 Gen 1 nomenclature? So I don't have the solution other than to remember the old adage. If it seems too good to be true, it might just be a good deal, but it also might be a scam. You know what else goes? The segue to our sponsor. Squarespace. Running your own business can be hard, but making your website doesn't have to be. With Squarespace, you get an all-in-one platform that makes it easy to get your website up and running quickly. You can grow your business online through their marketing features, including SEO.
اوكي شو نتابع؟ ستيفي حط فيديو جديد اتفرج عليه، من زمان اتفرجت على الفيديوهات. تبع الكوكولا شفته من قبل. تعبنا من اليوتيوب. تابلت ثلاث فيك على الصبح يعني تعمل لي ازعاج. لابتوب ولا تابلت؟
Even bigger package, ROG bounce. Doesn't bounce, proved them wrong. Anyway, let's get into it. This is sponsored by Asus ROG. What's the connector thing? You to the laptop, whereas if you did it over Thunderbolt or something like that, you would have way more latency and also just lower bandwidth.
لحظة خلينا نشوف تابلت ولا لابتوب.
So the first thing that's super cool about this design is see-through plastics. Love it. I absolutely adore that that's coming back. It just looks cool and is kind of nostalgic while also just being friggin' awesome. We also have fan intakes here and here.
الديزاين تبعه نفس
What do we
التابلت.
have here for connectivity? Looks like we have Thunderbolt 4. This right here is the XG GPU port, although I believe you can use that as a Type-C. There we go. rubber thing super easy to get out. There's our XG Connect port, and if you want, there is another USB Type-C on the side of it that you can use. And on the other side, we have our power button, volume button, full-size Type-A port, that's pretty impressive, and headphone microphone combo jack. How did they fit in so much performance and also completely destroy the Surface Pro's I/O, Jono?
You actually listened?
Oof. Let's open her up though.
That looks so cool.
Yeah, this does look
Tablet,
really
yeah.
cool. I have to say, I was kind of skeptical about this thing because like
يا هذاك اللي قبل طلعي عن الجي بي يو. ايش معنى يعني الكل حتى انا عملت اوه.
It is really fancy. Okay. Yep, keyboard's working fine. Edge is not working. That's great. Thank you, Microsoft, for your incredible software. The first thing I was concerned about with this laptop is the super small trackpad.
لابتوب ليش مسمي لابتوب؟ اوكي في حاجات يعني توصلها فيه فما يعتبر لابتوب ما دام الجي بي يو خارجي. اعتبره تابلت اكثر من انه لابتوب. ليش كيف تقول اكشوال يعني لابتوب حقيقي وهو يعني واضح انه فيك تشيل الكيبورد من هنا او تلفه على ورا كذا فيعتبر تابلت على شكل لابتوب.
Seen worse in laptops, and if you want, you know, the traditional clamshell design, they have the Flow X13, and so you should just buy that if you want a traditional clamshell design. If you do go for a traditional laptop, though, what you can't do is this.
ممكن تشيله ما تلفه لورا على اساس ما تغطي على الاناره اللي عاملينها ورا.
Whatever keyboard you want right here, use that, or just, you know, use it very simply as a tablet. This also would probably be awesome to have on a plane because you're always just running out of space there. This I see as kind of like the dorm room hero of a little laptop. This thing would be awesome to have with a bunch of your friends.
يلا اعمل عليه تجارب خلينا نشوف.
Good, we can play some games. As I've alluded to, the really impressive thing about this laptop
اخر ايسوس فاكيد عاملين اللابتوباتهم حلوه بدون مقارنه بالكل. لابتوباتهم تابلاتهم.
So in this we have an i9 12900.
Sheesh.
That's a 45 watt processor, again, in a tablet. We also have an NVIDIA RTX 3050 Ti, along with 16 gigabytes of RAM at 5200 mega transfers per second. That has to be DDR5, 1 terabyte SSD, Intel
Wi-Fi 6.
Basically, all of the best stuff. I'm guessing it's also incredibly expensive.
Okay.
It is very expensive. This unit right here is $1899. You can definitely get more power
السعر بالساعة.
but you know,
لكن برضه يعني أنا قاعد على أساس خاصة أشخاص يعني بيسافروا ولا يعني ما يظلوا في مكان واحد ف حلو.
batteries in the controller first of all, but I would assume that they have an Xbox controller dongle integrated into this, which would be awesome because otherwise we need one of those big old wireless Xbox controller dongles hanging out of the side whenever we want to use it. That's not very elegant. So I just pressed the pair button here. It immediately popped up on this that I want to connect and did it? Failed to pair. Okay, that wasn't as flawless as I was hoping. So wait, does that mean that you can just pair Xbox Series controllers over Bluetooth to your laptops? That is sick. Haha! Controller's ready to go. Wow! It's amazing how things just work.
المشكلة طلعت كلها في الابديت تبع الويندوز.
Okay, did we get to game on it? I think we finally get to game on it. Heck yeah. Oh, here we go. Excellent. 120 hertz, gotta enable that.
Ooh.
So we have a 1920 by 1200p display going at 120 hertz, 16 by 10. Frickin' love that. We also have an 8-bit color depth. And what did you say? 100% DCI-P3? Okay, don't know exactly what the color space is, but it has Dolby Vision support and it's Pantone validated. So all of the colors should be nice and accurate. Yeah, so we're here in Forza Horizon 5.
Ooh.
1080p. It looks like that we're getting 60 to 70 FPS on low. Now, that might not sound amazing, but this game looks
لا مقارنة بالحجم تبعه هذاك.
And remember, this is
ممكن بسبب الحجم.
Like, it is absolutely incredible that we can play a game that looks like this, record it at the same time, and still be getting 70 FPS. Like,
Mhm.
this is incredible what it's doing right now. It's
التطور.
also nearly silent. I'm really impressed with
كيف بيطلع صوته لما تشتغل المراوح اللي فيه المروحات اللي فيه؟
That's really quite good. Like, this is loud enough that you could very easily, if you're playing a game with a couple of your friends, you know, use these speakers effectively while having a group of dudes around it. Yes, or gals. Yeah, like, as far as just like a casual gaming experience goes, this is very good.
اوكي شغل شيء اقوى بعد. نجرب العاب ثانية.
PS, what is this? I'm a PC gamer. I can't live with that, and I want to give Asus a whole bunch more
اوكي
money.
الجي بي يو الخارجي بيوصل عليه.
The XG Mobile comes in. Okay, so this is pretty sweet.
Okay.
Now you got a multi-monitor display. You can look at lttstore.com, and at the same time.
يعني وصلوا بهذيك بيعطيك اكثر يعني الشاشة تبع اللي موجودة فيه وشاشة اضافية ووصلات وهاي الحاجات.
Oh yeah. So now we've got our lttstore.com open, and we've got Forza up.
لكن لحظة هذاك في
1440p
بعد يدك. ايه في مخارج تبع مروحة، فهل ممكن في جي بي يو زيادة ولا في معالج زيادة ولا شو، على اساس انه شيء بيعالج الصورة من هنا لهنا ف لكن حركة حلوة ان تخلي هذا بالبيت، تاخذ هذا معاك لما ترجع وصله وكمل كأن كل شيء طبيعي.
I think that's what we'll get away with a mobile 3080, which, to be clear, the 3080 in this eGPU is not a desktop
كارت شاشة.
3080. Like, you're probably wondering, how the heck is it so small and it's a 3080? It isn't a 3080. It's more like a 3070 on the desktop, but they call it a 3080 in laptops. It's the same die. 16 gigs of VRAM though is pretty sweet.
شوف.
Okay, Andy, you have to say this is pretty sweet.
Oh yeah.
كم اف بي اس.
160.
160 FPS. You cannot complain about that. We could
أكيد.
probably increase the graphics a little bit, but I'm one to go for 160 FPS over ultra quality and 140 FPS. This is clearly very awesome, especially that you have it's running off a tablet. Like, can you guys believe that?
And a eGPU.
Yeah, it's a tablet.
والجي بي يو خارج.
But like, if you have baller tier cache, this is a really awesome way to have like your cake and
لحظة
eat it
هذاك
too.
السعر اللي تكلم عنه أول هذا الحالة ولا مع كل شيء إضافي؟ 1900 تقريبا دولار.
Oh, one thing that makes this so sweet is that it has a vapor chamber in there. So instead of having heat pipes that might dedicate a certain amount of your cooling to the GPU, a certain amount to the CPU, the vapor
يقسمهم
chamber is
بالكل.
able to just take all that heat and sort of put it wherever it needs to go. It doesn't really care. So when you have it as a tablet, the GPU and the CPU are going to be vying for all of that heat dissipation. Whereas in a setup like this, the GPU is basically off, and the CPU gets all of the, you know, thermals that this has built into it. So that's why you're able to have a super awesome situation where you're doing 160 FPS on a mobile CPU with an eGPU. Okay, so this thing is clearly a small gaming beast.
يلا وقت
What I'm curious
يفتح
of
ويشوف شو داخله.
Can you upgrade it? Can you repair it? I don't know. This is the kind of device where I don't expect it to really, you know, be upgraded.
اوكي حتى لو شو اللي ممكن تعدلوا فيه يعني ولا تحدثوا فيه بشكل عام، يمكن الرام، قطعة تبع الواي فاي، حجم الذاكرة يعني الاس اس دي تبعه، لكن اس اس دي تبعه راح يكون M.2 يعني الحجم الصغير ولا الحجم الكبير؟ ما راح يحطوا لك اس اس دي يعني المربع هذاك مستطيل. شو بعد ممكن يتغير؟ بس اتوقع هذا الشيء، الرام والذاكرة تبعه بس، والقطع الاستهلاكية اكيد الواي فاي هذولك اكيد هذول سهلين تبدلهم.
But if it is, that's a massive bonus. I do see screws on the back. One thing that I didn't notice before is that there appears to be a little SD card
ايه تابلت اكيد بيحطوا لك مكان الاس دي كارد.
reader right here, so you could slot one in for additional storage. So it looks like with just one screw, you can take this little cover off and have access to your SSD for upgrade. That's pretty awesome. Look at that.
اوكي بدون ما تفك اشياء كثيرة على طول.
I'm getting real. If we want to get into this, we gotta
بتكسر
bring
إذا
up the
فتحته.
heat gun vibes, and I'm not in a heat gunning this and destroying it kind of mood right now. It is too bad that we couldn't open it up. I really wanted to check out the big old vapor chamber that goes all the way along here.
اوكي بس يعني الذاكرة تبعه بس مش الذاكرة الاس اس دي مثلا يعتبر اس اس دي هذاك صح؟ M.2 اس اس دي. لكن الرام ما تقدر تبدله، فيعني اللي تشتري فيه يضل نفس ما هو، الا اذا احد يعني قرر يفتح هذا كامل على اساس انه يشوف شو داخله. نفس شفت واحد على اليوتيوب على اللابتوب تبع الدل، مش دل، تبع الابل، ومعروفين اللابتوبات هذولك صعب تبدل شيء فيهم، فبدل الذاكرة تبعهم يعني الذاكرة تبع التخزين مش الذاكرة تبع الرام. يعني ملحومة في اللابتوب نفسه، فاضطر يشيل يعني يجيب لهم اللي يشيلهم من مكان ما هم ملحومين فيه، طلعهم وبدلهم. يعني شغلانة تعذب، ممكن ما تضبط بعد، لكن برضه اللي يريد يعني يتعذب على أساس إنه يحدث شيء صعب التحديث، مش مستحيل لكنه صعب، فأكيد بيجرب.
Here, underneath it there is liquid metal. That's how you keep your parts all nice and cool. And also there is a muck switch so that your GPU goes directly through your CPU and doesn't have, you know, the associated losses with that. Before we head out, I just want to quickly see how good this webcam is. Okay, front-facing camera looks pretty good.
بس.
This is more than acceptable
المايك
for
اوكي بعد.
typical like tablet or laptop. Let's see about the back-facing. Okay, yeah, so this is actually
أحسن
pretty
بعد.
decent. It's pretty much, you know, what you'd expect from a normal phone camera, except it's in a laptop, so that makes it way more impressive because they're always so in laptops. Anyway, Flow Z13.
Tablet
Huge
مش
thanks
laptop.
to Asus for sponsoring this video. Oh, Jonna wants me to mention that there's a 4K 60Hz version. Don't buy it. Thanks for
بالعقل.
watching. Goodbye.
هذا سعره ال 4K كم بيكون سعره بعد؟ اللابتوبات او التابلت بشكل عام اللي ممكن يعني تبع الالعاب حلوين، لكن برضو اسعارهم مكلفة. يعني بهذاك السعر ممكن تعمل لك سي بي يو، يعني الديسكتوب اجدد المواصفات واجدد القطع فيه، لكن المشكلة انه الديسكتوب ما راح تقدر تحركه من المكان اللي هو فيه، لكن اللابتوب ممكن تاخذه معك اي مكان، رايح مقهى، رايح رحلة، رايح مسافر مكان، راح يكون روعة انه تاخذه معك على اساس العابك موجودين فيه ومتعود على نظام اللعب فيه وهيك. لكن السعر تبعه والاشياء اللي راح تضحي بها، اوكي ممكن توصل معه شاشة خارجية يعني على اللابتوب مش على هذا التابلت نفسه. يعني هذا وصل فيه شاشة لحالها، فينه يعني وصل معه شاشة لحالها خارجية عن طريق هذا القطع. في بعض اللابتوبات يعني ممكن توصل على طول في اللابتوب نفسه للشاشة، يعني يا اما تضيف شاشة يا اما تبند هاي الشاشة وتستخدم الشاشة اللي موصلها، لكن برضو بتستخدم الجي بي يو اللي في اللابتوب، يعني الكرت شاشة اللي في اللابتوب، فبتسمع اصوات غير شكل لانه الشاشة صارت اكبر، التفاصيل صارت اكثر، فبتسمع اللابتوب بيتعذب بالزاوية. لكن يعني تقدر تستخدمه علشان الاثنين، تخليه تاخذه معك وتلعب يعني على شاشة أكبر غير شاشة اللابتوب. خلاص تعبت من اليوتيوب. هذا وين شفتها من قبل؟ اوكي اف تي اكس تبع الكريبتو اللي ضحكوا على العالم. شو نعمل نبدل نروح نلعب ألعاب. اوكي خلينا نبدل نروح نلعب ألعاب. شو نشغل؟ اوكي لحظة، خلونا نبدل نروح نلعب العاب. نلعب شو فورتنايت. فين الابيك جيمز؟ مش عارف ليش شغلت المشغل نفسه. اليوم شو الجمعة. نشوف شو ألعاب. كول اوف ذا سي. اوكي في لعبة مجانية على في لعبة مجانية. الابيك ستور. كيف نظامها هاي؟ استراتيجية ولا شو؟ نفس ايش اسمها هذيك اللعبة؟ Generals and Commanders. شكلها مسلية. اوكي هي حاليا هي $19 منقصينها الى $30. ومتى بتكون مجانا؟ بتاريخ 16/3 راح تكون مجانا. اوكي هذا شو هذا حاليا مجانا الى 16/3، يعني 15-16 هذيك راح تصير مجانا. سعرها $9 حاليا مجانا. كيف نظام اللعب تبعها؟ أحب الألعاب اللي تقدر تبني فيها وتلعب وإيش اسمه، يعني تستكشف وقص حطب هي ذكرتني بشي لما عم تغير الكودات تبع لعبة رافت تبع الزورق، لما تحط الأحداثيات تبع الجزر وتعطيك التقاه. اوكي مجانا بالآخر، اوكي ليش لا. خلينا نضيفها للقائمة، مش خسرانين شي يعني. ياي لعبة مجانا. اوكي ضافوها في القائمة تبعي. ونبقى نشغل فورتنايت. سنة حتى تشتغل، مش عارف اذا في تحديث ولا شو. اوكي لازم احرك هذا على اساس انه خلي فوق شوي. هنا مش عارف هنا. اوكي في واحد فيور، مش عارف مين انت، حاسك نايم في البث. المهم انه يعني في احد موجود، حتى لو كنت بوت المهم انه موجود، عم تسمع الحكي اللي على الفاضي عم قوله. اوكي حاليا بلعب هذه كرايم سيتي، خريطة حد عاملها فبس كذا للتسلية. لحظة خلونا نعدل في وين اسم اللعبة فورتنايت. اوكي
استنى ابراهيم خش يا حفرة.
يا نسيت إن الناس مزعجين في هذا. everyone nobody. يا friends and teammates. نحط درع. اوكي ايه ايه. المشكلة في الخريطة انه العالم كله في نفس المكان متجمعين. أحد عامل لي فيها سبايدر مان. مش ضابط. ايه قتلوا قبلي. على طول حد هناك. أحد سرق اللامة ولا بعد سرقوه؟ إيه. اوكي. مشكلة المكان اللي عامل فيه ريسبان بعيد عن مكان الاكشن، هو اريح على اساس انه ما حد يزعجك. يعني مكان الريسبان العادي تحصل عنده زحمة العالم كلها بتريد تقتل بعضها. Yeah. المطعم تبع البيتزا؟ لا مش مطعم البيتزا. حد رامي بازوكا هنا. بابكن هيد. اوكي تعال قرب. انتظرني اطلع. يلا طلعت. تخبي فين على اساس مش شايفه؟ في كامبرز يطلعوا فوق المباني ويظلوا هناك على اساس انه اي حد يطلع يقتلوه. حلو انه في مكان المحلات انه ما حد يقدر يقتلك. خاصة على السكن تبعي الناس تفكرني انه واحد جديد، وانا جديد بالفورتنايت بشكل عام، لكن برضه ما مش مشتري اي سكن ولا اي شيء. ف فورتنايت كلها اطفال ف رشي هذول اللي يجوا بسيارات على اساس انه يعملوا فوضى. فأحب أدمر سياراتهم على أساس إنه ما يعملوا إزعاج زيادة. في المحل اللي بجنبي هنا في لامة تسرقها هيك تقدر تلبسها مثل الشنطة على ظهرك، ممكن تبيعها تعطيك 2000. فأنا حاليا عندي 17,000. عندي هذول العسل تبيعهم يعني الوحدة عندي 3472. العسل الوحدة قيمتها 750 تقريبا. فكل ما تبيع واحدة يعني مش على طول تقدر تبيعهم، يعني كل تقريبا نص ساعة تقدر تبيع واحدة. فعندي فلوس كفاية على أساس إنه أريد أبدل أسلحة وهيك. 17,000 ما استخدمتهم في ولا شيء، يعني مجرد إنه كل فترة أبيع هذولا وأجمعهم. إذا أحد طلب مني أسلحة أو شيء أشتري له أسلحة هيك. والحلو في الموضوع إنه في هاي الخريطة الأسلحة تبعك لما تشتريهم يظلوا معك، يعني تموت وترجع ما يطيحوا، انه يظلوا معك، فحلو. عم دخن عشان كذا يعني واقف في مكانه ما بتحرك. ليلث شو بيك؟ باد كيتي. هنا حاليا، هنا المكان الريسبون العادي هو هنا، فهم 3 أماكن. هذا مجاني يعني أول ما تبدأ اللعبة هنا، وهذا تدفع عليه عشان تدخل هنا من الأساس، كم 80,000 تقريبا، بعدين يصير ريسبون هنا مكانك. في بالصحراء هنا، لكن إذا المكان الأساسي يعني من هنا عملت ريسبون هنا، خلاص يصير هذا مكانك، يعني ما تقدر ترجع لهنا، غير لازم تاخذ سيارة أو دراجة أو تركض لهنا مرة ثانية لهاي المنطقة، أو تشتري هذا المكان، يعني تشتري نفس الشقة نفس ما يقول. يعني في المكان اللي بجنبي في تبع اللامة، في هنا البنك صعب عشان الواحد يعني لحاله صعب، لأنه البوتات اللي موجودين داخل قويين جدا، 3 طلقات 4 طلقات وتموت. يلا بخلص ونروح نعمل مشاكل شوية. اوكي في سيارة. باي باي. اوكي بدك تتحدي يعني، لحظة خلي الدرع يكتمل شوي، شوف مين الأقوى. يلا ارتحت حاليا. السكن تبعهم حلو صراحة. كيف تحصل بي بوكس؟ لحظة هذا الدرع تقريبا. هذا الدرع تقريبا إذا يعني فقد القوة تبع الحماية يطيح، ممكن تشيله. يعني كله يجي هنا عشان يقتل في حاله. شفت اللامة اللي على ظهرها هذيك هي تبع صاحب الخريطة. كلهم يطلعوا وينتظروا الناس تطلع، لكن في السطح في منهم متخبيين على اساس انه فوق متخبيين عم يقتل العالم. المشكلة انت تطلع عشان تقتل اللي فوق، يجيك احد على الجانب يقتلك. على طول يتخبوا. يلقوا اصحاب السيارة. هرب اللي على السطح. في محل بجنبه. شفت العالم كله تطلع وتشوف وراها على اساس انه اللي واقف عند الباب يطلع يقتلهم ويرجع داخل مرة ثانية. ما حد فكر يضرب الدرع على اساس انه يختفي؟ كلهم مشغولين اللي بيقتلوهم برا. الدرع ما يخليك تشوف اذا طلعت برا من اللي خبط عليك. نقرب اشيله. غريبة، مش عارف إذا صاحب الخريطة حطه أو هو موجود من أول ما كان موجود، لكن يمكن حطوه على أساس إنه العالم كلها بدأت تموت أول ما يعني ما تحصل فرصة تطلع. أنا بنعمل ريسبان مرة ثانية. شوف هل أقدر أبيع مرة ثانية لهذاك. ايه 750 بالضبط. Hello. Hi. لعبوا حرب الطيارات هذول. يلا سوي لود بسرعة. تصويب بهذه النوعية تبع من أول هنا بيعمل ايه؟ البوتات عم يدقوا عليه. عم يحاول ياخذ البازوكا وعم يحاول ياخذ الدراجة، مش عارف. البازوكا ايش هذا؟ المظلة. نايس. كم متخبي فوق. نشوف نقدر نبيع مرة ثانية ولا لا. اوكي 750 غيرها. في بطاقة توديك للسوق، للحين ما عرفت كيف استخدمها صراحة. يعني وصلت هناك حصلت يعني ملغمين المكان في اشياء ما قدرت اعديها. خريطة مسلية يعني تعطيك مهام تسويها وكذا. معظم العالم تقتل في حالها ومش فاضي عشان الاشياء الثانية، ولو انت بتعمل الاشياء الثانية يجي احد يخرب عليك الموضوع. نبغى نشوف هذولك هل نقدر نقتلهم او لا. اوكي كمل المسيرة كأنه ما صار شيء. هذا يكون ناس قليلة هنا. جيت هنا عشان نجرب هاي المنطقة اللي فيها فضائية، ما أعرف شو كأني قربت عليهم كثير. الفضائيين هذول عم يحموا المنطقة هذيك. نجرب. مشكلة تطلق على واحد كلهم يطلقوا عليه. والريسبون تبعهم سريع بعد. ما فايدة من الموضوع. أنا كنت لازم نقص المنطقة الصحراوية شوي. في أحد يجي. تعال الدرع. اوكي. فين تخبى؟ تصويب زبالة تبعي. صوت سيارة بسمع. أو دراجة. بيتزا. جات. سنيكي. مركز على العالم كله، ما واحد ركز عليه. يا سلام. هذا ما زال مصرا. أكره ما عندي إني أسمع هذول الأصوات. يعني بعرف أحد عم يتسلق المبنى أو عم يركض وراي. هذا ماذا تريد؟ اوكي. جو. اذهب. ليش حاسه بيتكلم عن طريق المايك؟ نسمع ايش بيقولوا.
I lost my place in this thing. I'm finding it. You're going to Deuteronomy 24. No, chapter 3 is not. They don't. Yeah. Alright, here we go. So, in verse 230 of the chapter, it says, listen to this. It's talking about divorce and things like that. It says, when you have renounced your wife, and they have reached the end of their waiting, do not prevent from remarrying their husband if they have come to an honorable agreement.
Dude, what are you talking about? Okay, لازم أشغل
If a man divorces his wife, he shall not remarry her.
Dude, are we in a church or something? Could you stop?
Did you read that? Let me read that for you again. I want you to let this sink in. First of all, his mom's supposed to okay with multiple wives. And it's okay with divorce. And it says here, if a man divorces his wife, he shall not remarry her until she has wedded another man and been divorced by him.
And your point is?
That is not what the Bible teaches at all. Now here's from the law of Moses that supposedly this is confirming in Deuteronomy 24. Look down at the Bible. When a man has taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he has found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house. And when she is departed
مين
out of
عم
his house,
يتكلم؟
he may go and be another man.
المايك تبعه ما عم
And if the
يتحرك.
latter husband hate her and
هذا
write her
اللي
a bill
هو
of
عم
divorcement
يتحرك.
and give it in her hand and send her out of his house.
هو اللي بيتكلم. يعني خلينا نكمل. لا. عم يركز وين عم ما ضبطت معه. اوكي ثاني مرة ضبط. تعرف كلهم بيستخدموا هذا ويعملوا حالهم سبايدر مان. مزعجين صراحة لانه يعني ما تعرف تمشي سيدة تشوف يمين يسار او تشوف فوق لانه عاملين سبايدر مان في الموضوع ف دار. غير هنا تحصل عسل يعطوك واحدة عسل تشتريها ب10 تبيعها ب750. هنا يعطوك مجانا يعني ممكن تستفيد منها يعني. هذه اللامة اللي تسرقها تبيعها هنا ب2000. العالم كله يريد يسرق اللامة. خليهم يوفروا علي بعض الشغل يقتلوا هذول انا اجي اقتلهم واسرق اللام. لا 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 خذيتها قبل. لا ما خذيتها. كان قريب. يلا بسرعة 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 قبل ما إن شاء الله أحد يكون خرب علي الموضوع وما قدر ياخذها. راح نشوف الحين. مش محتاج الفلوس، بس اريد البسها على اساس انه شكلها حلو على الظهر. ما ينصح ان الواحد يركض بدون ما يشوف وراه، برضو انا مستعجل. لو تأخر شوية بس اكون خذيتها. شوف اذا في زحمة عند المحل يكون لسه ما حد اخذها. سبايدر مان اخذوها. اخذوا علينا اللامة، خربوا الموضوع. بالأول هذول فيهم أسلحة. الخريطة فيها جليتش ولا؟ الكل ظهر عنده نفس الشيء، إنه الكل محتار. أنا فوق طبعا في اللي عم يرقصوا عليه. أفضل إنه أموت على إنه سكرين طريق. شو أعمل لهم يعني؟ أوكي. شكلها حلو اللام على الظهر لما تلبسها. مش عارف كل كم يعني يعملوا لها إعادة ضبط، كل ساعة أو كل ساعتين، يعني مكان ما تسرق الألماسة هذيك. مذبحة برا صارت. احطها نلامة على اساس انه مش ما بستخدمها كثير اسمه كواد لانشر. يتحرك اسرع اذا مشيت عليها. نرجع نعمل مشاكل. الدرع اللي حاطينه عند الباب مشكلة هذا، يعني ما تقدر تشوف. نروح عند هذاك ابيع واحدة من العسل، حصل 750. المشكلة ما تقدر تبيع غير واحدة واحدة، لو تقدر تبيعهم كلهم مرة واحدة يكون أريح. ايش هذا؟ درون نايس. بنعمل عليه تجارب. بيحاولوا يسرقوا البنك. تجربة حلوة. جريت. حاملها في نفسي بعد. اوكي يعني يريد يقرب. باي باي. كلهم بيحاولوا يسرقوا البنك. البنك البوتات اللي فيه يعملوا ريسبون بسرعة. بيلاحق على السكن تبعها. السكن تبعها تبع انمي صح؟ زعيم. لا تصح عليك معنا ولا انا اللي يعني اللي كلهم عيونهم يعني التفت علي فجأة فصرت ضحية. حلو الشغل اليوم. بعد عايش هي صح؟ يب. كلهم بيحاولوا يسرقوا البنك. سمعت صوت. ايش معنى يضبط؟ ايه بعدهم بيحاولوا يسرقوا البنك. البوتات كثير هناك. بعده تبع اللامة مش مفتوح. ترى تقريبا صاحب اللعبة عامله على أساس مشكلة كل ما تلف على والدرع موجود يعني الكاميرا تبعد عنك فتدخل بنص الدرع وتلخبط عليك اللي بتشوفه نجرب فيني أبيع غيره أو لأ. مين يبيع غير كويس. نسيت انه هذا شغال. لازم اتخبى في مكان عشان استخدم الدرون. اتخبى فين؟ لو ملابسها يشبه على المكان اللي يقربها. حركة حلوة. غريبة الحين ما حد لقى مكاني يعني كنت متخبى فيه. كأنك بتتفرج على المباراة. التعليق القوي. جتني فكرة بخصوص هذا. على أساس إنه في بعض الأماكن مثل البنك مش عارف كيف المكان وشو اللي موجود داخله، فممكن أودي هذا الدرون واستكشفه. مش عارف إذا البوتات راح يطلقوا على الدرون أو لا. ليش خايفين متخبيين هناك؟ يمكن يفكرين مع اللي عم يقتلهم على اساس انه عم ظهر اللوكيشن تبعهم. هذا احد قتلني انا صح؟ ايه. فكرت احد طلق على الدرون. المكان هادي مقارنة مع المكان اللي أول كان الريسبون. واحدة من المهمات السهلة انه تسلم العسل ويعطيك فلوس. ماني 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 ماني. في بعد خلينا نروح مكان البطاقة. I see you. فيلمنا مع نفسنا. مفيد هذا صراحة. Hello Kitty. الموضوع كيف نرجع الحين؟ ارجع اخليهم يقتلوني، اعمل ريسبون اريح يعني. هيك لحظة تبع الالماس. تبع الالماس فتح تقريبا. بضحي بالبطاقة يعني. تبع البطاقة هو هوسبيتال اريا مارت. هنا تقريبا صح؟ او هنا. ادخل اريح هنا. في احد موجود داخل. اوكي احد فعلها من قبل. 8 دقائق اوكي. راح نحاول نجيب الالماس تبع اللاما. لاما يهي لاما يهي لاما يهي لاما يهي. على طول يدخلك الأكشن هذا. نسيت انه تبع المعالقة تبعي خلص. مش خلص، رميتهم عشان يشيل البطاقة. نشوف بعده مفتوح. شوف بعده مفتوح. ما في اي شي تبع علاج موجود هنا. كل احد يقتلني. سوري دود. عم يتلصص على مين هذا؟ قتل مع نفسهم. لازم أحد يخرب عليك الموضوع. البوتات بيكون عامل سبان مرة ثانية. أخذوها بعد ما ضفت لهم المكان، سرقوها مني. مرة 8 دقائق تقريبا، على أساس أروح أقرب هذاك الباب. نروح نقرب الباب هذاك. برضو نفس الشيء. ديليفري ماشي. اوكي نقربها ليش لا. رايح من هنا. حسيت في أحد. اوكي ما اخسر اي شيء من اسلحتي. اوكي حلو. أحد قريب. نايس. ما زلت اريد اللامة هذيك. لا راح يطلع حلو على ظهره. حاول يسرق البنك او اوكي ساعدوا بعضكم البعض. ايش معنى؟ قربت لآخر شيء. نايس. I see you. العالم كله عامل سبايدر مان. Yeah.